Good afternoon, everyone. I'm State Senator Mike Simmons from the 7th District, which covers the neighborhoods of Uptown, Edgewater, Rogers Park, West Ridge, Andersonville, and Bowmanville. Like Dr. Kuro said, I'm a lifelong resident. This is my home. It's the home of many of you. And so I invite you to see me and our office as an extension of your home and your family. We're here to serve you, and we intend to do that. Thank you, Dr. Kuros, for your leadership. You are an amazing leader in our community, and I'm inspired by just the legacy that you bring to this community and to the Ethiopian American community and to the broader Chicago community. And you've been a great friend and a great mentor for me in my role as state senator and for my whole life. So thank you for that. Dr. Martinez, thank you for your leadership. Thank you for fighting on behalf of our challenge champions. Thank you for speaking to the issues of equity. And thank you for sharing your story, both as someone who has provided treatment and someone who has received treatment. I also want to thank Dr. Lakoko for your leadership, for getting us all together and for providing this format. This is just such a wonderful space, and I want to say that I'm honored and just privileged to be here with you today. I want to just say to all of our champions today, challenge champions, how proud I am of you and how touched I am by what you've been able to accomplish. You are here today. You have persisted. You came into this world with vast abilities, right? And the fact that you have owned your abilities. You have owned the abilities that have been difficult, right? That would be difficult to navigate. It's just such a testament to the human spirit. You are providing the little shining example of the best in humanity by what you've been able to overcome and accomplish in your life. And so I thank you for that to our challenge champions. I congratulate you on this award today. And again, it's just an honor and a privilege to be here with you today. I also want to say a word to our caregivers. Congratulations to you, caregivers. What you've done is you have loved our challenge champions just as they are. You've loved them for who they are. You've loved them for the different abilities that they've been endowed with. You've stood with them. You've observed those needs that oftentimes are not expressed, they're just not easy to express, and you've met those needs for your loved ones. And that's special. That is if there's nothing else that demonstrates love, is when you have looked at another person and you can tell what they need and you just meet that need without them even having to tell you. Is again, I think, just the very best of the human spirit and what humanity has to offer. And so I thank our heroes for the love that you bring to our challenge champions. Thank you for that. And of course, for the caregivers, it's not easy, right? I mean, life continues to make demands of you, right, in your work, and a lot of our caregivers have children. A lot of times our caregivers have parents that they might need to look after, and so what you're doing is literally the Lord's work. So thank you for that. I want to tell a little story. A couple of weeks ago, my partner Michael and I were taking a little vacation. It was our first vacation since I've become a state senator. And we were in a bicycle shop. I like to bicycle. This is how I look after my mental health. I bike. Tomorrow I'll be biking about 15 miles. This is how I keep myself balanced so that I can serve you and I can serve the people of this community. And it's so important that we talk about mental health and we name mental health and we lead by example and we talk about what we do to take care of our mental abilities. And I was looking at the magazine and I saw someone on a bike with dreadlocks. And that was the thing that caught my attention. I said, look at this amazing person on this bike with these long dreadlocks. It looks like he could be my brother. And I just looked at the magazine and all of a sudden I saw that this professional bicyclist bikes with one leg. And I looked at the magazine and I asked the bicycle shop owner, can I have this magazine? Can I buy it? Just let me take this. And I went back to our hotel and I have to close the door and I have to sit and I have to read this. And this guy, his name is Leroy Rogers. He's 38 years old, same age as me. He's born in Florida. And when he was 22 years old, he was out bike riding one day and he went across a riverbank and got to a bridge and his wheel got caught. And he went off the bike. He went into the river and the bridge cut part of his leg, and so his leg got infected and they had to amputate his leg, and he was told he would never bike ride again. And 16 years later, he's back on a bike and he's biking and he's a professional cyclist, and I was just so inspired by that. And what it made me think about is that people talk about being differently able, and the reality is that when you're differently able, you still have vast abilities, and you're able to see things that other people may not be able to see, and you're able to tap into potential and abilities that other people can't see easily, and that just makes you in a whole different league of humanity. And so I look at Leroy Rogers and what he's able to do, and I look at our challenge champions today that have abilities across the spectrum: physical abilities, different abilities, mental abilities, different mental abilities, and we see the whole spectrum of humanity and what we bring to our short lifetimes in this world. And it's so amazing to see what people can do, no matter how they're able. And so I just wanted to share that because it was such an inspiration to me. And I want to talk a little bit, in my state senator capacity. By the way, for our challenge champions, I understand that a number of you are Habeshas, a number of you are Ethiopians and Eritreans. And so as an Ethiopian state senator, I just wanted to give a shout out to you and to the community for that as well. It's just so good to be here with Habeshas today. And we may be new to America, relatively speaking, but I feel like we're going to give this country so many gifts, and we're giving this country so many things. And you challenge champions are at the front of that. And so thank you for that, for representing our community in such a beautiful way. But I, in my office as state senator, we're convening these people's legislative councils. The idea is to bring government to the people. So not telling the people in Rogers Park and Edgewater, you have to go to an office and knock, and maybe someone talks to you and they give you a number and they treat you any kind of way. We're going to the community and we're talking to our constituents, and we're asking them, what does government mean for you? How can we better serve you? What is your experience with government? And then how can we make it relevant? How can we improve it? And so we're going to be talking to 9 different groups, and I wanted to tell you that one of them are going to be people who are living, who are differently abled, or people who are living with disabilities. That's going to be an entire group of people that we talk to. And so the goal is going to be to talk to them about what does it mean to commute to work? What, do you find that buses and trains are really accessible for you? What is it like for you when you're crossing Sheridan Road and cars are coming by really fast and you may have to stop and go to the next block because the curbs are not built for you? What does it mean if you're a person living with mental disabilities and you're in a workplace where your boss insists that you work 9, 10, 11 hours a day, and that just may not be realistic for you? But because you have so many wonderful abilities, you might be able to outwork everybody else around you, but you just need a different format to be able to do that. I want to be a voice for people like that. That is a big part of what I want to do as a state senator. And so I just wanted to let you know about that, and I hope to be able to reach back out to some of you so that you can participate in those bodies. We're going to also be doing groups for immigrants and refugees. I'm the son of an Ethiopian immigrant, and so I want to make sure that immigrants and refugees feel comfortable in our office and feel served. We're going to be talking to single mothers, just like my mother. I know another of you probably knew my mother, Ramona Rouse. She owned a salon right on the next block here on Loyola Avenue, and she's just a beautiful soul, and there's so much of her in me and what I'm trying to do. And so my mother taught me how to love people in a non-judgmental way. She never held a grudge. She gave everybody the benefit of the doubt, and that's such an important part of what the legacy I want to leave in this world. And I know that our caregivers here today who are loving those who challenge champions understand my mother's legacy, because if you didn't, you wouldn't be doing this work. You wouldn't be doing this. And so I just wanted to mention that. And lastly, I want to just ask for those that are on a Zoom today, or that may be on my Facebook Live, make sure to celebrate People Living with Disabilities Day, the National People Living with Disabilities Day, which I believe is coming up the next week, July 29th? July 29th. I want you to post on social media, tell personal stories, do that hashtag differently abled, talk about what it means to be a caregiver, what that example has been in your life, because you know something? There are other people out there that are living in the same situation, and they don't have language for it. They don't know how to talk about it. You know, we're immigrants, or children of immigrants. In some of our other countries, we don't have the language to talk about this, but it's a universal thing that all human beings experience. So we got to talk about it more, and so other people feel more comfortable, and they, people who may have a hard time navigating life because they are challenged in different ways, or their caregivers can understand how normal this all is and how it's something that most people see in their families. And so that's all I have to say today. Thank you so much, and I look forward to being with you. Thank you.